I lost my sister and nephews because I stood up to her husband. I still think I did the right thing, but it still hurts. 5 years ago, I lost my sister. I lost my nephews. Not because of some blowout or dramatic explosion. I lost them because I set a boundary with her husband, and no one in the family was willing to deal with what that boundary exposed. Her husband, my brother-in-law, a man I've known all my life, got blindingly drunk in my apartment during a family visit. Not just buzzed, drunk, aggressive. He took it out on my sister, loud, demeaning, abusive. I had to leave my own apartment just to get away from it. And that wasn't the first time. Every visit had some alcohol-related incident that everyone quietly tiptoed around. There was the time he wandered off during a trip, bought a bottle of rum, drank it alone, and stashed the empty bottle under my bed like a teenager sneaking booze. The times at dinners where he'd get pissed drunk, snap his fingers at waiters, badger the staff, then forget we already ate and order second rounds of entrees no one wanted, only to get pissed if anyone pushed back. Everyone just let it slide. I stopped being able to. That night, I confronted him.
I'm afraid my boyfriend is attracted to little girls. I'm writing in the hopes that someone will help me make a decision on if I 23F should break up with my boyfriend 28M for what he did to his niece 19F. For the sake of storytelling, I will give my boyfriend and his niece a fake name. We will call her Claire and him Dean. Claire is my brother's girlfriend. They have been together for about 3 years now. Dean is Claire's uncle that is 8 years older than her. They lived together when they were younger and were both being raised by Claire's dad and Dean's older brother. Claire's dad was extremely abusive to both Claire and Dean. Forced Dean to drink alcohol, even threatening to burn him if he didn't finish the entire bottle. They lived together when Dean was 14 to 17 years old and Claire was 6 to 9 years old. I met him through her and we really hit it off. We've been talking and hanging out for about a week when Claire says she needs to talk to me about something. She tells me that when she was about 6 or 7 years old, Dean, who would have been 15 to 16 years old, came into her room and asked her to come up to his room in the middle of the night. When they got to his room, she says he asked her to take her clothes off and lay on the bed. She said he just looked at her for some time and moved her legs open and looked there as well. She said she doesn't remember anything else happening. She doesn't think he touched her. They lived together after that and nothing ever happened and they never spoke of the incident. With her permission, one asked him what happened and he said he didn't remember. Claire and him had a conversation and he told her he didn't remember that but that he was sorry and felt disgusted by himself. We then talked about it and he said he doesn't remember it happening but he doesn't believe she would make something like that up and that he was very grossed out by the situation. He swore he had never done this again and that he never would. Claire told me she doesn't believe he would do it again or that he ever did it to any of her other 4 younger sisters. I'm unsure what to think. Is this a sign he's a pedophile? Or could he have been a curious teenager that took it too far and regrets it? So, what should I do?
I confronted him the next morning. I was calm, just naming what happened. And there he was, lying in my bed, next to my sister, after verbally tearing into her and confessing to cheating, and he looked at me and said, "Grow up." I still can't wrap my head around that. That moment was the full picture. Arrogance, denial, and a total lack of accountability. Not just from him, but from the system around him that enabled it. My sister even texted me that same night. His alcoholism, it cost him a lot today. Her words. But years later, that truth disappeared. Now the story is that I hated him, that I humiliated him, that I betrayed them. I wrote him an email a few days later. I told him I wouldn't speak to him again until he acknowledged what happened. I CC'd my nephews not to shame him, but because I knew that was the only thing that might jolt him into reflection. I knew I might lose all of them. And I did. My sister was 18 when she married him. He was 30. He's a doctor. And in South Asian families, that alone makes you untouchable. Our culture exalts doctors like they're morally superior, but wealth doesn't erase dysfunction. It just gives better clothes to hide behind. He grew up poor and emotionally stunted, and never dealt with any of it. Instead, he built a wall of ego and status. My sister, shaped by the same patriarchy and unhealed trauma, absorbed that worldview. In her mind, Calling out abuse equals betrayal. Admitting a problem means being disloyal. So instead, she buried it, and me with it. The rest of my family went along with it. They're keep the peace people, sweep it under the rug, act like nothing happened. I became the problem simply because I didn't pretend. That quiet rejection, being treated like I was the one who made things hard that hurt just as much. I've been in therapy for 15 years. I've done the work, I've unraveled the patterns, but that came at a cost. In a family that values silence over healing, doing the work makes you look like a threat. They've never really acknowledged who I am now. When I started thriving, really thriving, they didn't notice. I wasn't a doctor, so it didn't matter. I outgrew the image they had of me, and they never updated it. Miss my nephews, they don't talk to me, but they still watch my Instagram stories. Once a year at Thanksgiving, we see each other for about an hour at a restaurant. It's polite, hollow, no substance. My sister is deeply performative. She makes everything look okay on the outside, but it's not. There's so much unprocessed pain inside her. I've learned to accept that, but it still sucks. She doesn't know the real me. She never tried to. I just got engaged. My fiance has never met my sister or her family. I don't even know if she ever will. There's no relationship to build on, just history, distance, and denial. I reached out again recently because my mom asked me to. My sister responded, but it's clear nothing's changed. The truth's been replaced with something more comfortable, easier than facing what actually happened. But I remember, I didn't lie, I didn't exaggerate. I stood up for what I knew was right, and I still love them all. I really do. But we grew up with different definitions of love, ego, and integrity. For them, love means keeping quiet. For me, love means facing the hard stuff even when it costs you. If you've read this far, thank you. I'm not here for advice. I just needed someone to hear this. Sometimes, choosing peace for yourself means giving up the illusion of peace with others. And that's a grief I'm still learning to live with.
My boyfriend thinks I'm disgusting. My boyfriend and I got into a fight last night. We've been together for over 2 years and live together. Our lease is up in June. He recently purchased a motorcycle, and I told him that he could not continue to park it inside the house. He got very upset and said that I'm disgusting, that I weigh too much and it's unhealthy. I'm currently 235 pounds. I was about 200 pounds when we met, and I am trying to go to the gym about 3 times a week. I was on semaglutide before, but I had to stop because it got too expensive. He said that I don't dress well because my clothes are not expensive. I enjoy thrifting and wearing boho-style clothing. He also said that I can't possibly respect anything because my car is always trashed and never washed. I do have to say that most of the time there are drinks in my cup holders, and I don't like going to the car wash. He also said that I trapped him in this relationship, and that he never wanted to date anyone after his divorce. He has brought up marrying me on numerous occasions, even looking at rings online together, unprompted by me. And his divorce was over 5 years ago. I don't understand what has made him act this way all of a sudden. Any advice on what I should do next? Should I end things? We haven't talked since this fight. How should I ask him how this all came to be?
I caught my wife having an affair. Need advice on what to do next. Yesterday, I went through my wife's phone and found messages between her and a guy, let's call him Mark. The messages included kissing emojis, saying I love you, calling him the best boyfriend, and even planning to go somewhere, get drunk, and sleep together. I was shocked, hurt, and furious. We've been in a relationship for 12 years before marriage, and we've been married for 6 years. We both have stable jobs and good salaries, and we have a 4-year-old daughter. When I confronted my wife, she admitted it was a mistake, but hesitated to say whether she had feelings for XY. She met him few times after office hours. I also confronted XY, who is also married. He apologized, said he was scared, and even claimed that if his wife found out, he would end his life. He also made it clear that he has no intention of leaving his wife for mine, even if I were to divorce her. To make matters worse, my wife had a work trip last month to another city, and she went alone, not caring much about our daughter. Before the trip, she even waxed her intimate area, which raises more suspicions. I love my wife deeply and don't want to leave her just yet. I want to make her realize the gravity of her actions, but at the same time, I feel the need to ensure that XY faces consequences for his role in this. Mark and my wife work at different places, but same city. I need advice on 2 things. 1, how do I uncover the full truth of what happened? 2, how should I handle this situation moving forward? 3, what can I do legally to him? Any insights or suggestions are welcome. I'm at a loss right now.
She's been fucking him for ages. Don't be naive and let them manipulate you. This is just manipulation. Tell his wife and kick yours to the curb.
Well, what do you think?
Am I the asshole for walking out on a date after she showed up at least 50 pounds heavier than her pictures? I met a woman online for dinner who was bigger than I would like but still cute. When she showed up, it was clear the pictures on her profile where from before she had gained at least an additional 50 lebs. She also had much worse skin in real life that was masked by makeup and filters in her pictures. We were seated at our table, and after about 5 minutes of talking, I said, "It was nice meeting you, but this isn't going to work," and got up and left before she had a chance to respond. We had not ordered anything yet, so there was no bill to pay.
Why I never do dinner for the first meetup. Choose something that can be ended quickly and cheaply if necessary.
I'm a bigger girl, but my fear is that someone thinks I catfish them. Even though I have pics of me without makeup or unflattering BC, they're funny, LOL. I also give them my IG to look at stories or my lifting videos so they can see me without angles, lighting, etc.
But you? What do you think?
Am I the jerk for ending it with my boyfriend after his girl best friend took my wedding invitation? Okay, so I, 21F, and my boyfriend, 22M, let's call him Todd, have been together since we both graduated college. Him and his girl best friend, let's call her Anna, have known each other since they were middle school. If I'm being honest, I hate Anna. She's rude and always tries to act like she knows my boyfriend better than me. Whenever the all three of us are hanging out, she always tries to make a point saying, "I've known him so much longer than you," or, "Don't you think me and Todd would look so cute together?" And then she would cackle like the annoying brat she is. Anyways, like I said, Todd's sister is getting married. She sent out the invitations a few weeks ago, and my boyfriend got one with a +1, obviously meant for me since his family loves me. One night I came home from work and I heard my boyfriend on speakerphone with Anna in the bedroom. I walked in and said hi to her and my boyfriend. I was trying to be nice even though I really hate her. After I said hi, my boyfriend had on almost scared look on his face, as if he was TV something. And then Anna says this, "OMG, my name. I'm so glad to hear you. I'm sorry for taking your +1. Todd decided to give it to me since I didn't get one of my own." My boyfriend's face went tomato red. He quickly ended the phone call awkwardly after she said that. I told him to explain himself and he said, "Well, she didn't get an invitation and she really wants to the ceremony. Also, she's known me longer." I was fuming and stormed out. I went to go stay at a friend's house that night to calm down. The next morning, I called Todd's sister and explained the situation to her. She said that the invention was indeed meant for me and not her. Me and his sister are very close, so she gave me my own invitation. She said that even if I did break up with Todd, I can still 100% come to her wedding. This still doesn't change the fact that my boyfriend have my invention to Anna. I told my friend goodbye and went back to my shared apartment. When I got home, Todd was waiting for me. I told him that he can't just keep putting Anna over me like that. This isn't the first time that something like this has happened. He said I was overreacting and that it wasn't a big deal since I got my own invitation in the end anyway. I was mad and told him that we were done and that he needed to pack his stuff up and leave.
Am I the asshole for cutting my mom off after she blamed me for my wife cheating? Me, 29 Miss, and my wife, 26, have been going through a rough patch and trying to fix our marriage. I used to be away for work a lot, and she took evening tuition classes for students. She cheated on me with a student's father and then confessed to me. After a lot of talking and her pleading, I forgave and we decided to move on. But since we live in a village, the news got out anyways. My family is especially not happy with what happened, but they are not saying anything about it. Last week I was at parents' place for breakfast and mom kept trying to bring up that topic, trying to give me advice about moving on, which I avoided as much as I could, but then she said something which basically put salt in my wounds. She said I am also to be blamed for not being there and that if I don't take care of my wife's needs, someone else obviously will. I was too angry to even say anything and left. I haven't talked to her since and now my siblings are trying to coerce me into talking to her. So, am I the asshole for cutting her off?
Is my husband cheating? For 15 years. He has been in the army for almost 20 years, and our marriage has not been perfect. But since arriving in California, he has been stressed out and working a lot. I myself work, but I don't bring my work home. He has stopped communicating, has not given me any information of where he is staying when he is away, which is not normal. Typically, I get the itinerary, and he tells me the hotel and will even show me the room. Recently, he said he was in Washington, asked me for a divorce, then changed his mind and slept with me. Left again and started to argue again. apologized for all of the divorce comments and said he is happy to see me as he is trying to sleep with me. I didn't, and he refused to let me see his phone. He said he has nothing to hide but shows that I don't trust him. Now I don't trust him before he would have given me the phone. As I write, I see how everything points to him being unfaithful. He is away and acts like an asshole. He has mentioned feeling stressed out with work, has mentioned he is kicked out of the army because he cursed out a general. He has been saying a lot of things that don't make sense to me, and I don't know if I should keep being a good wife and support him or get a divorce. I feel I deserve better, and when he is present, he is the man I love, but when he is gone, he is an asshole. How do you know when it's time to just end a marriage? I don't want a divorce, but Elle feels sick. I feel drained. I don't know if this is normal, a part of marriage, or if this is the time to divorce. My fiancé told me his mom should come first, so I told him to marry her instead. Am I the asshole? As I'm writing this, I'm sitting on my best friend's couch trying not to throw up. I, 27F, have been with my fiancé, 29M, for 4 years. We got engaged 5 months ago. Everything was great until his mom got involved. His mother has never liked me. I'm too loud, too ambitious, too independent. She once told me I was lucky her son tolerated me. I bit my tongue for years, for him. But since we got engaged, she's been trying to plan our wedding like it's hers. She booked a church we didn't want, changed the catering, even tried to make me wear her old wedding dress, without asking me. When I told my fiancé I was upset, he said I should just let her have this because she's dreamed about her son's wedding her whole life. I asked, "What about my dreams?" And he straight up said, "My mom comes first. She always has." So Elle packed a bag and told him, "Then maybe you should marry her instead." He looked at me like I'd slapped him, said I was being immature and dramatic. Now everyone in his family is blowing up my phone saying I embarrassed him, disrespected his mother, and threw away a good man over something small. My own mom is kinda on the fence. She said I shouldn't have said something so harsh and that I'm lucky he wants to be close to his mom. But I feel like I finally snapped after years of swallowing crap. So, am I the asshole for saying what I said? Boyfriend of 7 years cheated and I ruined his life. My boyfriend for 7+ years relationship cheated on me recently and got married behind my back. He was in relationship with me while on his honeymoon. When I found out everything, I had proofs to ruin his career and financials. Dropped anonymous tip at his company about his wrong work and they fired him. He doesn't know this yet that it was me. Then asked him to pay back the loan we took together, made all legal agreements and secured myself financially. Then I reached out to his newly wife and told her everything with proofs and chats and videos. End of story. He took my 7 years, didn't cared enough to plan his marriage behind my back, took my emotions, feelings, love, and made me look like a fool in a relationship. So why should I care now? Tit for tat. I know some people will say, "Girl, you can't do this," but I did what I felt at that time, and I do not want it to feel guilty when I walk out while he was sleeping with other girl. Share your perspective, please. Am I wrong or right? Is my husband cheating? For 15 years? He has been in the army for almost 20 years, and our marriage has not been perfect. But since arriving in California, he has been stressed out and working a lot. I myself work, but I don't bring my work home. He has stopped communicating, has not given me any information of where he is staying when he is away, which is not normal. Typically, I get the itinerary, and he tells me the hotel and will even show me the room. Recently, he said he was in Washington, asked me for a divorce, then changed his mind and slept with me. Left again and started to argue again. Apologized for all of the divorce comments and said he is happy to see me as he is trying to sleep with me. I didn't, and he refused to let me see his phone. He said he has nothing to hide but shows that I don't trust him. Now I don't trust him before he would have given me the phone. As I write, I see how everything points to him being unfaithful. He is away and acts like an asshole. He has mentioned feeling stressed out with work, has mentioned he is kicked out of the army because he cursed out a general. He has been saying a lot of things that don't make sense to me, and I don't know if I should keep being a good wife and support him or get a divorce. I feel I deserve better, and when he is present, he is the man I love, but when he is gone, he is an asshole. How do you know when it's time to just end a marriage? I don't want a divorce, but Elle feels sick. I feel drained. I don't know if this is normal, a part of marriage, or if this is the time to divorce.